All right, welcome back to Trainwreck Games. We're here once again with another session of the Dark Summer. We are here now about to start turn 2 officially. The last couple sessions, the first 3 we got through turn 1. It always takes a little bit longer to get through the first turn. Because, not that this is going to go any smoother, but you're sort of acclimating to the game still. You maybe read the rules, but you haven't actually put them into practice. So hopefully this goes a little bit smoother here with this turn. So we're going to go right down the sequence of play. We're going to do the actual sequence of play. None of this modified turn 1 allied beach landing shenanigans. We're just going to go straight into the turn marker advance. We've already done that at the end of the last video. Now we're going to go into the weather phase. Now, I mentioned, I think, in the first video, like the weather phase in the Dark Summer is random. You draw a chit, and it's a sort of a pool that it's a finite pool. So as you draw it, you pull it out. So you can't repeat the same chit. So what that ends up doing is it ends up giving you basically the spread of weather that I would assume occurred during the Normandy invasion, but not necessarily in the same order. It makes sense that the first one is locked. Because of course, you don't just, you would know, you'd be shooting for specific weather when you plan the invasion. You would, they delayed when the weather wasn't right. So it makes sense that the first move would be a little more locked. And I think I mentioned there's a variant in the rules where the first 4 or 5 can be locked if you want a more like historical outcome for the weather, and then it gets random. So again, because you can predict the weather a couple of days out, so they would have picked a window, not just, oh my God, tomorrow's great. I don't know what's going on after that. Go, go, go. But we're going to go with the random because I like the idea of random. So I'm going to turn my head and I'm going to pull cloudy. All right. So turn 2's weather is cloudy. And so, yeah, you just sort of put it on the track. That way, that particular cloudy chit can't come back. So now with sun and clouds, the US get 2 mechanized, 1 infantry replacement. Now, I think replacements is just like, flip them over, dude. I don't know if I have damaged mechanized units for the US. So I'm going to just flip this one. Why not? Or do I flip this one because it's closer to the heat? Although that's a more powerful unit by a little bit. So let's just do that. That's the 1 infantry. The 1 mech. I don't think I had any mech take damage. So the British, 1 armor, 1 infantry, 1 Canadian. Hmm. There's 1 infantry. Yeah, it's a Canadian replacement. And generic Canadian replacements. Canada taking shots. Canada, the generic replacements. Our neighbors to the north deserve better. GMT. Okay, so all right. A generic Canadian replacement. I'm kind of looking at the pieces here a little bit. Maybe generic Canadian units are. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I don't know if this is gonna matter, but you can see like these, like over here, they got a different color for their unit type, and it says Canadian. So I guess in general they just get maybe a blanket replacement for whatever kind of unit you have on the table. Okay. So we did the replacement phase. First the Allied player, then the German player spends replacements to bring reduced units. Okay, do the Germans? Sun, cloud, none. Okay. This is going to be important. So now let's set up the action phase. I was about to say the thing that's going to be important is the moving. I don't know where it is, but there's rules specific to movement where Sun Cloud German units may not use road MP costs. So that's going to be something I'm going to have to remember and we'll forget in about 7 minutes. Allies can declare a prepared offensive, which there's a chit over here. I'll have to double check exactly what that means. It's been around a little bit since I read that. Allied defenders receive 1 L column shifts for air power. Oh, defenders, yeah. Allied carpet bombing allowed, twice per game for each marker. Not seeing that marker at the moment, but I'm sure it's here somewhere. I imagine it's going to be like one of these things where like you use it and then you flip it over. Boom. We'll figure it out. And then each allied TAC air marker may be used once per allied combat or combined action. Oh, and naval support's back. Okay. Okay, and again, remember the naval support line. This blue line right there. Okay. Anyway, let's set up the chits. So we're doing clouds. US get 4 move combat, so they get 1, 2, 3. So they get 4. The Brits get 2 move, 2 combat. Here's 2 combats. Here's a move. There's a move. What did I say it was? Cloudy? Yeah. And the Germans get 1 reaction. Okay, and then they get 3 move combat. No. Yeah, 2 reactions. What was I looking at? Cloud. 2 reactions. And 3 move combats. Okay. So that is the action phase. So let me take a quick second to refresh my memory on the combined attacks and what was the other thing? Oh, yeah, let me, and like carpet bombing, stuff like that. Let me just figure that out real quick. Okay, so I brushed up on a few things. I need to be better about some of the discipline that I have when I try and make the edit as smooth as possible. So I'll have to figure that out. Okay, so we're going to start now with sequence of play. We're going to do an action phase. So let's draw the first chit. We're going to get a combat. Okay, so, or a move. Could be either one. So now what we can do is we can declare this a prepared offensive. I think you have to do a combat turn and then you can make it a prepared offensive. And a prepared offensive allows units to move basically 1 hex and also attack with a 1 shift to the left. So you're attacking a little bit weaker, but you're able to do a little bit of movement. So I could see the advantage of that. I don't think I have any TAC air. Like there's some TAC air units. I don't know if there are any TAC air units in there. I definitely see some for turn 3. Carpet bombing, I think, is a thing. And then the allied, the naval support you can do for 1 attack per round, which, so I assume like this would be 1 round. The next time I draw a combat would be another round. I'm assuming that's how it works. So let's figure out what we're going to do. Do we want to do a prepared offensive? I don't think we need to move so much. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this a straight combat. I mean, the moving again would allow me to bring reinforcements in, but let's do some combat for better or worse. What do we got here? We got open terrain with a defensive 9 against 21. 21. Let me move this out of the way. So yeah, 21. I could definitely bring in 6 for the naval combat. So that's going to get me up to 27 to 9. That's going to be 3 to 1 odds, which is not bad given the strength of those units. And then I'll just say carpet bombing on Sun and Cloud turns. The Allied player may assign the British Bomber Command or the U.S. 8th Air Force to carpet bomb a German occupied hex. Now, I don't know if that's a chit. They're making it look like it's a chit. And if it is, I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's buried in here, like it comes on a certain turn. Anyway, so let me just dig around just real quick. Okay, so looking around, I mean, so like if you look here, I mean, it clearly has a 2 in the corner. The American one does not. Yeah, the Americans definitely have TAC Air coming in on turn 3. So in my head, I feel like I should have chits for these, and I don't know where they are. So on Sun and Cloud turns, the Allied player may assign British Each carpet bombing marker may be used once per turn, twice per game. Both markers may be used in the same turn. Flip the marker to its reverse side. When resolving combat in a hex being carpet bombed, ignore all in-hex terrain effects. Okay, I mean, it makes sense. There's restrictions on Allied naval support. It's got to be like an open hex, so I could use it there. It's got to be like maybe a town hex. So we don't need to worry about carpet bombing because they're in an open hex. But it does make me wonder where that chit is, because I assume it says like flip it over when you're done using it the first time, because you can only use it twice per turn. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we'll worry about it later. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna use this as part of this attack. So we're gonna get 27 to 9, which is gonna be 3 to 1. Double check. 6, 3, 3 to 1. 3 to 1. There's no shifts. 5's pretty good roll. 3 to 1 is an exchange. Defender eliminated. Attacker loses an equal number of steps. Okay, so defender's eliminated, right? Let's get this off the board. They just lost 4 steps. That's not nothing. I assume I'm doing this right. So that means we've got to lose 4 steps of ally. Which I'm assuming that's you take the 2 units off. So that was a pretty costly battle. Was it worth doing? Who knows? Okay. So now let's start moving around the horn, so to speak. So I don't know. Was it worth doing? They had the town. I was going to say they had the better terrain to defend, but are they really defending? They're trying to make the push, So let's start looking over here. Okay, we got Bocage, which is going to be, was that like 2 shifts? Like Bocage was nuts, right? Bocage was German defenders get 2 shifts to the left. So even though we're looking at a potential 10 to 4, 2 to 1. Oh, so it's not even close. So I think the one we can do pretty cleanly is attack here. And we can do it with this stack and that stack. We can't do that stack because that would require an attack to jam up that hex, which we can't do. We won't. We could. Well, no. There's only one unit. Let's not worry about that. Okay, so we've got a lot here. 10, 16, 22, 28, 33 to 5. It's going to be 6 to 1. And they are in swamp terrain. Marsh, which is a shift to the left, so it's a 5 to 1. And let's see if we knock them out. 4 on a 5 to 1 is going to be defender eliminated. 4. Defender eliminated just barely. Okay. Now we get to advance after combat. Have this stack make the move. Okay, there we go. Is there any other combat that we want to do? You know, we can eliminate this if we need to, I guess. Got 3, 11, 17. Yeah, let's do it. Because we can attack across the line. We can't move across the line. So none of this is possible. So I'm going to do, just for now, I'm going to have them be there. That attack could not happen. It was a 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this be this. I'm going to have them stay in Bayonne. This, because they're not allowed to. So we're just going to leave that. That attack never happened. I guess that means we would technically still have the naval assault. Again, yeah, like I was about to say, you can attack across the line, but you can't move across the line. So I don't know what I was doing. But there we go. Caught that, I guess, relatively early. Okay. So let's see. It's apologies. I have to doing this early in the morning because I have we have to have some work done on the house, and so I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything. Anyway, okay. So there we go. I think that does it for the attack chit draw. So let's do the next one. Do we want to do a German reaction? Now, German reactions, again, you can like move, I think 1 stack. And then if they are tigers or FG units or whatever, they can attack. So I can move this stack up. They're in Karen 10, though, which seems like, why not hold the line in a slightly more defensible position? Is there any other reaction I'd want to do? You know what? This attack could still happen, right? What is a shift for and maybe that's what I'll do. This is a city. It's going to be a 2 shift. So maybe this is the attack, right? It was a 9, 21 plus the boat makes it a 27. So it was a 3 to 1 with 2 shifts. And I rolled a 4. So it's going to be defender retreat. So I knock them back. But I don't, this might be what happened last time. I don't think I can advance. Because it's across the line. So I was able to sort of dislodge them from Bayeux. But I can't capitalize. Maybe that's the mistake. Okay, so I'll make myself do the attack. So, okay, there we go. So next, what are we doing? Next chit. Where's the cup? Here we go. So we're not doing a German reaction. We got a Another American whatnot. There's more combat that we want to do. I mean, we can do more combat here, right? We can keep the push going towards Cherbourg. I think I have the Allied. Again, I can do a combined. You know what? I might. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this a combat, but I'm going to make it a combined prepared offensive. So there's my prepared offensive for this turn. Who knows if that's smart? So what that means is, again, units can all move 1 hex. And I can also attack with a 1 left shift. So let's move a hex. I don't know if moving 1 hex does anything for this unit. I can't move 1 hex there. I can't. I feel like I need to keep reviewing the how you win section of the rulebook so I can sort of get some guidance, like what exactly am I trying to do? All right, let's advance on Karen 10. Let's move this stack there. I think I can move this stack there and help with that attack. What's here? That's an open beach. So let's push inland a little bit. Have I moved this group? Probably not because they're in a town, but so there are, one of the things I know you can do for victory points is you can remove airborne units. Wait, where's call? I think I controlled a hex of call at the end of turn 1, right? I think I got there with the Brits and then did some business. So I think I get 5 victory points for that. I think. I mean, I definitely was in call because I was just doing a whole thing about how to even pronounce it. I might have actually controlled 2 because I might probably came through call. So I'm going to give myself another 5 because I feel like I came through. That would have been controlling. Wait, there's only 2 hexes, right? No, that's a hex as well. Yeah, so I feel like these 2 hexes I would have controlled. So I'm going to give myself another 5 for that. Okay. Captured that. Anyway, okay. So yeah, I'm going to do a combined, still working through a combined offensive. I did the movement. Let's do an attack. So we've got here 5, 10, 2 units there. They are in that Bocage. No, it's in Marsh. Okay, so let's pull out the Marsh is going to be 1 shift to the left. There's going to be another shift to the left because I'm doing a combined action. They've got a 10. I've got 6, 12, 18, 28, 38, 44, which is going to be a 4-1. Shift for that, shift for the shift for terrain, shift for combined. So we're on the 2-1. Woof, 2. EL1, which means both attacker and defender lose 1 step. Defender first. Okay. Honestly, that could have been a lot worse. It feels like it could have been worse given like the 2-to-1 odds for the attacker. Okay. There we go. I'm not doing that. I'm going to have to, I think, starve them out or something. There's no way I can just smash into that at the moment. Okay. So I think that's that shit. Let's do the next. Germans can be either combat or move. Do we want a German reaction? Again, it's just going to let me move 1 stack, but it's going to save a chit. I think this is on terrain that I want to... Yeah. You know what? Let's do a reaction first. And let's... Ooh, but you know what? But that's blocking the road. I was going to say the bocage is better defense, but then I open up the road. So let's combine that. Okay, that'll be the reaction. Then do we want a German combat or move? Feels like combat's the wrong way to go. So let's do a move, which is going to allow them to bring in some replacements from, I guess they have to do half of the ones from turn 1. 5, I'm going to call that 2. So let's see what we can bring in. A lot of flak guns. I mean, they are good on defense against armor. This guy's, where is he coming? Let's bring him in. He's 1 west. Who else is good at defense? These guys are pretty good. Let's do 1 west. I think I'm doing that right. I thought it said, like, you know, if they can't come in the first turn, they come in later. And I thought it said you had to prioritize. But also it was only, like, you rolled and it was half after the turn they're supposed to come in. Ooh, they could have been these guys. Let's do that. Let's bring those guys in. Okay. So they're going to move. I don't get road MP cost because it's cloudy. That means they're getting harried by allied air. So it's just going to be straight movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. They'll stick to the roads, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. Let's see. Anybody else want to move? We did a little movement up there. Oh, no, that was the reaction. Any other movement that we want to do? I feel like these guys should do something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to move back into there. I feel like these guys should consolidate somehow, but where? Okay. I mean, I guess Okay, let's call that the German move. British move. Okay, so the Brits now have the chance to bring in. They still have a couple of units from before. So if they get a 4, they bring them both in. 4. So both of these guys are coming in. And I think they come in on open beaches. Okay. Now I feel like what we need to do is we need to be able to capitalize on knocking troops out of Bayeux at some point. So let's move. 1, 2, 3, 4. If nothing else, maybe it'll make it tougher to retreat. I guess they would have to go this way. Let's reinforce. Reinforce there. Okay. Okay, so I think that covers the British move. I don't know. I feel like I at least got the basics. Maybe I'm forgetting something, maybe not. Who knows? I mean, maybe do I throw more control markers? It doesn't matter. Anyway. So I think let's draw the next chit. Do we want to do a German reaction? I don't think so. I think we're kind of. Ooh, you know what? These guys could move. Let's do a German. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep them moving. Anybody else? No, it's only one stack. It's not like a general blanket move. Okay, so now let's do. The next one is a German something. Again, I'm going to do a German move because that allows for reinforcements to come in. 4 is going to be another 2. Let's bring in this guy at 1 east. I was going to put it there, but that's German infantry only. So we'll bring it in there. And then what else? We'll bring this one west. I think I'm doing that right. Again, it's probably something I should have looked up and did not, but so be it. Okay. So that's the reinforcement. Any other moves? I mean, I guess they can move, right? These folks, stacking limit there, but they can help out there. So let's bring them into there. Again, we're holding the town, so we don't need to move them. Just make more of a stack. I was going to say they're blocking, but at the same time, the Zocs keep units from just cutting right through, I guess. I mean, I guess this unit could go end around a little bit, but the terrain is not favorable. So it would take forever and I would have time to react if I wanted to. So let's do that. That'll be the German move. Let's see what's next. Another German. I think I might do another move. Keep bringing in the reinforcements. 4. Keep rolling 4s. So these guys are 1 east. They can come in up here. Okay, so we got some giant piles forming up over there. Okay, anything else? I think we're okay right there for now. Ooh. This stack's starting to get rolled. Can we reinforce them? Now, there are rules for even if you're in a Zoc, you can do like a kind of like an emergency withdrawal. So I could probably emergency withdraw like that wounded unit. I think you move it 2 hexes and you just sort of can do it. I don't know if there's other penalties, but I'm not going to worry about it for now. But that keeps that stack. That seems to be the main defense at the moment, the linchpin, if you will, of what's going on there. And I can sort of do it by going bonk bonk. So I think the Zocs are in the clear. Let's British move. Okay. The Brits don't have any old units. So whatever the die roll is how many units they can bring in from turn 2. 4, not bad. Again, these ridiculous stacks. They're going to cause problems. Looks like some armor. Let's bring in carpet bombing. I don't know if this was meant to be... I don't know if this was meant to be... No, it says a 2. So starting on turn 2. I don't think that's meant to be a thing you can call in as reinforcements. I think you're just supposed to get it. So let's bring in some advanced armor and some hardcore infantry. Put the rest back. So I bet somewhere in that American stack. There it is. All right. I rolled a 4 though. There we go. First time. Let's bring in some more armor. All right, it's begun. Okay. These are going to go onto open beaches on the British side. So we're going to put... If I put it here, it can do more this direction, but I feel like the Brits are really going to be pushing... So I'll just put them all there. Okay, so that's the reinforcements now for the moves. Get some action there. Okay, I think we're going to make that push into Bayo. We've got help here. I think the trick is cutting these guys off. Those are really powerful stacks. So how are we going to do that? Let's see what... crossing a major river adds 3 movement points. Okay. Looks like there's a bridge there, though. So let's... 1, 2, 3, 4... 5... 6... 7. So that doesn't do it, though. Because I haven't zocked off that road. I think with 12 and 12, like that was like 7 or 8. Getting up a hill is 2, but I think I can sort of do that. So now we've got these units, technically speaking, cut off from supply as far as I can tell for the moment. And looking at it, we've burned... During the cloud turns, Germans get 2 reactions. We've done 2 reactions. So they're out of reactions and they're out of chits in the cup. So that, in theory, should hold. Any other British movement I want to do? I think that's good. So let's see what's next. Combat. All right. Now, again, in a combat turn, I could set up a prepared offensive, which would allow me to do a 1-unit move and then a 1 shift to the left attack. Trying to think where... Like, I could attack there, but I don't think I actually want to. I think what I'm trying to do is let the out of supply do its magic for at least a turn, see what happens. So I think I'm going to hold off an attack there. Again, here I feel like these stacks are getting too tall. I could bring 4, 8, 26 against question mark profits, 2, 4, 7, could be 9. It could be, so it could be like a 2 to 1, 3 to 1. I could use the naval. That would help. We're going to get shifts because they're in the marsh. It's going to be 1 shift to the left. The other thing is I could use the naval to dislodge that, make that a cleaner attack, let that sort of fester for a little bit longer. You know, because we're getting a city. It's 2 to the left, but we're bringing against 9. We're bringing 16, 22, 28, 34 to 9. So it's going to be 3 to 1. With 2 shifts to the left. That's rough. I could use carpet bombing as well so that they don't get the advantage. They're in an open space. That's an open city hex. I could carpet bomb this hex here. They would lose the 6, 14. Wow, 22 on defense. If I use these guys to just do a chip attack, they might take some heat, though. That might be bad. Then these guys could all go after them. I mean, it's going to be like 1-to-1. You know, the odds when you start doing the math are all going to be bad. Let's let that supply situation cook. All right, so let's do here. So 9, it was going to be 34, which is going to be 3-to-1 odds. I'm not going to burn a carpet bombing. It's going to be 2 to the left because of the city. Again, I think, you know, they were talking about it in the last thing, like the that comparison video between this and Normandy 44. Like, this feels like a much deadlier CRT for the defenders. So we're doing a 1-to-1. Oof. No effect. Okay. At least nobody died, so to speak. Let's clear some of this out. It's a 2. It's 4-to-1. Defender eliminated. At least give him an opportunity to move forward a little bit for free, in a sense. Boom, boom, boom. I think that's it. I think that is it for now. Okay. Americans. I'm going to do a move, mainly for the reinforcements. So they get to bring in 1 unit. Because I'm going to do 1 divided by, you know, I'm just going to make it 1. Do they actually want to move? I'm sort of winging it, but with like 12 movement points, I'm just assuming they're going to be able to get there. Now, by turn 10, if you can control every city, that's a good bonus. These guys have a movement of 8, but I don't want to sort of get out too far over our skis, so to speak. This only has 1, 2, 3, so one of these guys can go there. If I go there, I think that cuts off. Again, because that blocks that blocks that, so they're going to be cut off as well. I think that's good. British combat. Now, is there any reason to make this a combined offensive? A prepared offensive, I should say. I don't think so. Let me just check something real quick. Open beaches, out of supply effects, cannot receive replacements, movement allowance reduced to 3, combat strength is halved. Combat strength is halved. I think that's the thing I'm looking for, and I think the out of supply for at least the Germans. Okay, so units that's found to be out of supply at the relevant time. So if I were to launch an attack, that would be the relevant time, and I think these like units would have like their defenses halved. I think same here. If I were to start doing that, they're also going to lose a step for being out of supply, which could be handy as well. So this would be 3, 3, 1 is 4. You know, let's give this one a shot. We're going to cut theirs in half, so it's a 3, and that's a 1 for a 4, compared to 4, 10, 16, 28. Naval bombardment, 34 to 4. Definitely 6 to 1. Even 28 would be 6 to 1. So we're going to do 6 to 1. They're going to get some shifts because they're in a city. 6 to 1 is going to go to 4 to 1. What's the E? German defenders ignore retreats. Probably should have reminded myself of that. Of course, maybe it was an asterisk retreat, so it would have not been ignored. So we're on the 4 to 1. 5. Defender eliminated. Bayeux has fallen to the Brits. Nicely done, Monty. I'm going to let, again, I'm going to let this cook. Let those steps start coming off because of the out of supply. And yeah, so then the next step is the last thing. American. Do I want to do combat or do I want to do a move? Again, I feel like moves just to keep the reinforcements coming in. So I rolled a 4. I'm going to say 2 of them, because you sort of cut them in half, bring this thing on. And then I can bring 2 units from current turn. Got a tank destroyer, which is a special unit, and then a lot of 6/8 infantry. 6/8 infantry is pretty good. I'm going to go with 2 of those for now. I should probably look up what those tank destroyers do. I guess here? I'm starting to run out of space, though, to do things. But I do feel like let's move those guys over 1. Now they have 8. Let's just double check the coming on this beach. So if they wanted to move onto the swamp, That would be 3 movement points. So then they'd be down to 5, but then they're on a road. 6, 7. So they can basically get there. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to move something very gingerly. I feel like that road is in that hex, so they can move, I think, 1 more. It's right on the edge, but I'm going to say it's in that hex. Okay. So that covers all the movement for all the chit pulls for the action phase is now complete. The attrition phase, check unit for supply. The German player does this every turn. The Allied player only does it on rain and storm. So we don't have, that's the difference I was misremembering. I knew that it was different somehow for the Germans and for the Allies, and that's it. So units that are out of supply lose 1 step. These guys are all out of supply. Oh, that's rightfully nasty. I was going to say if it was just 1 unit in the stack, and that's not a ton of pressure, but once you make it every unit loses a step, then there's going to be real pressure to try and break out or do something. Like that may have been a stupid thing to do with all my German, with all the German armor units, but it's going to put some real pressure to try and break out and do something. So we'll have to see. So that could be interesting, but it was probably not smart if I was trying to play both sides to the best of the abilities, but that is okay. So, okay, we've done the attrition. Is there anything out of here? I don't think these guys are out of supply because I think they can get around and they can do something. That unit can go that way. So again, I think we're good on supply for the rest of the Germans. Cleanup phase, move units. In the just entered section, we haven't done that. Remove action chits, combine action markers, prepared offensive from the action track. Okay. So yeah, we basically clean this up. It's all going to go in a cup in a second. So I'm just going to put this here. Prepared offensive. Fleets. Just put all that down there. And that is the end of turn 2. So we advance the turn marker, and we will pick that up in the next video. Again, yeah, still having a blast, still really enjoying it, probably still playing it terribly, but that's on brand. But otherwise, this has been a really great experience so far, and I'm looking forward to keeping it going. So thanks again to everybody who checks this stuff out. Appreciate it, and we'll be back soon. Take care. Bye-bye.